Good afternoon. It is Saturday, 10th of July. It is a warm, slightly overcast afternoon. I am back in the Reading Nook with another bundle of parcels to unbox, and of course, a nice hot cup of tea. And I have this to unbox. So, first off, indication of who it's from. So that's from the Midderlands. It's from basically Monkey Blood Design, and of course, you read there. Excited? Why not tell your friends on social media about your new stuff? Maybe do an unboxing video, write a review, or post some cool photos. That's a nice touch, I think, and basically Glyn puts that on the standard sticker when he sends anything out, which is fantastic, because essentially, it's encouraging you to share what you've purchased from him and showcase, essentially, his books. Now, I know what's in here because, essentially, Glyn, I edited the contents of this, so let's get into it. Open, and we have a package, and I am going to here. Yeah, let's look at this one. I'm going to do this one first. So essentially, what we've got in here is he's put this in, didn't even need to, because essentially a bit of a flyer, a map of the Midderlands greater setting on there. Didn't need to put that in, because essentially, even though I basically, because I worked on them, essentially, we've got a nice map of greater world. Let's have a look. So there we go. Nicely marked on the one side, and you can see the Haven Isles in there. Just try and grab that, mark that off. So Haven Isles marked there. A little bit of detail on the world, and essentially on the back we've got an unmarked map. So that's a nice inclusion. I mean, that showcases. I can just get this map to. There we go. To fold up, and I'm going to dig into this, which is Midderzine, more green for your game, and this is his house fanzine. And he does these periodically, and it basically comes up on Kickstarter. So what we've got in here, more fodder for the Midderlands, and the green thing is basically that the Midderlands sits upon the gloom, basically, which infuses the underground, basically the gloomium, powerful metal below, and basically seeps up into the world above. So you've got Meet the Midderlander, more juicy rumours from the Haven Gazette, Gloomium, the lowdown, currency thoughts, slightly less shit, lesser rings, the Lost Worlds, the world of the Midland setting, Races of the Lost World, focus on the main swords and wizardry with a Midland twist, and the treasures of the Lost World. So lots of things in here, and we open up and classic Glyn artwork, nice full colour, green element, strong throughout, and for a fanzine you have contents list. Basically, just you don't need that, and it runs to 40 pages, but it's there, and there's more on the inside back cover. And then we get into essentially here's the introduction, and this basically begins to open up the world quite a lot. So every time, each issue, it has an interview with Meet the Midderlander. And essentially, this is one of an interview with one of the design team or writers behind the Midderlands. So in here it's John Allen Large. He's written a couple of scenarios, and with and essentially I've been in a previous issue, so basically, because I'm part of the team, I edit books for Glyn, and I love working on them. They're always fun and entertaining, and there's another reason why I love working on them, and I come to that in here because I can remember working on this. So we have, let's have a look, I'll come to it quite immediately. So essentially we have, so essentially we have basically a table of rumours and ideas of what's going on across the Midderlands, and these can easily add to your game and so on. We have a guide to Gloomium and its game effects. And then elsewhere we have a table. One of my favourite entries, and I'll show you why. And I'll show you why. The other reason why I like working on the Midderlands content is there's an article in here called "Slightly Less Shit, Lesser Rings." Essentially, and the Lesser Rings in Swords and Wizardry complete rulebooks are not shit, but there are only 6, which is shit. Here are some more. All these rings are usable by any class. So, for example, here you roll a d30 and you've got a table of rings. So here we go. So it might be you roll a 1, it gives a gold ring and it gives you +1 to saving throws. Essentially, the leather ring, reduce damage from attacks by humans by 1 hit point. It's minor effect, but it's fun. And my favourite in here, basically it's my favourite because I added to it. Originally 21 opal. Summon cheese at will. The thing is, that was it. And then somebody said, what if it summoned different sizes of cheese? So I went back in and I said, so it says, each time cheese is summoned, it's larger than the last piece summoned. The largest piece is a cheese wheel. The ring then resets. So essentially, each time you basically use the ring, summon a piece of cheese, it's a tiny little morsel. Essentially the sort of piece you would find on a mousetrap. Next bit, it's a whole lot bigger, and then it gets bigger and bigger up to the cheese wheel, and it resets, and it's fine. But there's also a footnote, okay, which reads, a variant of this ring, said to belong to the archmage known as Fromager Maju, only produces cheese from Gorlandia. It is identical to the standard ring, except for a slightly pungent smell. And the thing is, that's me. Here's the thing, it's not a question of, essentially, I added that content because I thought it was amusing. Okay, and Glyn has kept that in, which I absolutely appreciate him doing it. It's really nice of him. He could tell me to just stop doing it, just sod off. Okay, but he doesn't. I have a little bit of room to just elaborate on things. And the great thing is that the Archmage Fromager Maju is a friend of mine, and I thought I'd put him in like that. And afterwards, I said to Glyn, you know what I've done here? I've added cheese magic to the world of the Midderlands. Which I think is funny. And there's no rules for cheese magic whatsoever. It's just a thing, it's there. How it works is entirely up to you. It's just funny. The idea that sort of somebody might specialise in cheese magic. So the next thing we go on to in issue 6 of the Midderzine is the Lost World, and that's essentially the big setting. And it goes with that map and it expands upon the greater area. Let's have a look. So where are we? The other thing I added in here was, just trying to think where I put it. I did put it in here. Okay. I added essentially there is in the Atlantic Ocean lower, there's a place called far to the south, the black sigil carved remnants of a second century jut from the icy waters. Haunting winds blow through these monoliths, creating the cries of 1,000 drowned sailors. This is Rillier, and once seen it can never be escaped. And there's a footnote there, and I added something basic which reads, the malevolent tone reviews from Rillier, yes, okay, I got away with that, is the only rumoured work to describe the city, said to be written by Mad Bud Baird. Note that Bud the Bad Baird claims this is a stitch up by his rival Matthias Pauk. Again, something else I added. Bud the Bad Baird is another reviewer, and so is the arch fromager Maju. He's another reviewer. So I added a couple of in-jokes there that exist in the world of the Midderlands. And again, as I say, it's fantastic that Glenn let me add these. So we go on basically further area maps. So basically, you see the content, nice, easy to read, lovely maps. And it's fantastic to see these expanded upon. It goes nicely with that map, which comes with this. And I think essentially, again and again, it's a really nice, well-produced fanzine. And if you're a fan of the Midderlands, you should be getting this because it's adding so much more. We go on to unique locations. Essentially, the Lost World, the guide to the Lost World is essentially makes up the majority of this magazine, and it expands the world in a way that the core books don't, because essentially the core books really focus very much on the Haven Isles, starting off with the Midderlands themselves, then expanded to cover the Haven Isles altogether, and then in the third book, Great London covers the capital in some detail. And here we have discussion of basically the races of the Lost World, and basically written up for Swords and Wizardry. And the great thing about Swords and Wizardry is essentially it just means that the game is simple enough that you can expand it to other retro clones, old school Renaissance role-playing games of your choice. So yeah, this is sorry, it's just the last page on there. Let's have a look, see if there's anything. There we go. Then we've got lastly, Treasures of the Lost World. So that is Midderzine More Green for Your Game, issue 6. Comes with this map and basically a tiny little map. You can basically get the flower one, but basically purchase it direct from Glyn, which I thoroughly recommend you do. He is a very nice chap, and he's very generous in allowing me space to add little things to his world as colour. So yeah, Midderzine issue 6. Well, thank you for watching another unboxing in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this, please do click the like button down below. And if you've got any comments or feedback, do take the time to post them. I do read them, I do respond. I do appreciate you basically taking the time to do that. And of course, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, to me sat here with a nice hot cup of tea and unboxing books and chatting about them for 10 minutes, please do subscribe, hit that subscribe button down below, and you'll be alerted when I upload another video, which at the moment is basically one each day during the week. In the meantime, again, thank you for watching, and I'll be back again with another unboxing in the Nook very soon. Bye for now.